Good morning, everybody. It's Dion again. It's Wednesday, May 7th. Just want to check in today for our 5-minute reality bite. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday in Numbers chapter 13. We mentioned yesterday how the spies that went, 10 of them at least, saw themselves as grasshoppers. And so because they saw themselves as grasshoppers, they in turn believed the giants saw them as grasshoppers. So we talked a little bit about the fact that many times, oftentimes, when God gives us promises and God gives us good things that He wants for us and has for us to do, places to conquer, jobs to interview for, places to move to, relationships to go after, whatever it is in your real world that seems insurmountable, when God gives us those things, we see them, we realize them, we're able to touch, feel, smell, the whole thing. But because of how we see ourselves, because of how we view our own selves and view God in us, it causes us to look at ourselves in such a way where other people's view is influenced by that. So many times we don't have a problem seeing what it is, but because of how we see ourselves, we never believe we can have that. We never believe we can do that. Now, hear me real quick. I'm not saying that every believer needs to be rich and have money overflowing and needs to have everything perfect and good. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, when God has something for you, when God has a place and a plan and a destination for you, there will be obstacles. There will be things ahead of you. And if you don't have the peace of mind and the wherewithal to believe that God has set me here for a reason, and I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, you can go ahead and talk yourself out of and cause other people that are in your way to view you less because you don't think anything of yourself because of who God made you to be. Second thing here is that in a few verses prior, the spies came back and said, we saw the land, but they're stronger than we are. The people that are coming up against us are stronger than we are. Listen, simple truth of the matter is that when God tells you to go somewhere, when God tells you to do something, when God puts something ahead of you or in front of you, God knows that you don't have it in yourself to conquer it. Hear what I'm saying? God knows you don't have the wherewithal, the strength within yourself. If we had it in ourselves, if we could do it on our own, there would be no need for God. We can just get up in the morning and do what we could do without any intervention, without God's power, without God's leading, without God's prompting, without the fuel given to us by God's Spirit. But since God knows that we don't have that in us, He said that He would give that to us. He would be our push, our driving force. So I love it here because God clearly sent them here to see this is the land that you'll conquer. This is the land that you get. This is what I've promised you. This is where you're going. This is where I'm leading you to. And it's bigger than you are. It's better than you are. It's something that I have for you in your future. And I never promised you an easy road. I never promised you a road without obstacle or without anything blocking your way. And I never promised you a road that the blocking would be smaller than you are. God already knows that what He's sending us into is bigger, is stronger, is faster, is richer, is more than we can handle on our own. But He didn't send us in there based on our qualifications. He didn't send us in there based on what we have in our own backpack. That won't make sense to you unless you have kids and you're a Dora and they watched Dora the Explorer when they were younger, because everything Dora had was in her backpack. Every challenge she faced was in her backpack. And God knows that you don't have this in your backpack. This is not a tool or something you have in your arsenal to be able to compete in this arena. But I'm sending you here not based on your own strength, but based on my strength. That's why God's word says to us that His strength is made perfect in our weakness. It's in our frailty. It's in our flaw. It's in our lack that God is really able to show off and be the power for us and be that extra that we don't have. So He gets to add His extra to our ordinary to allow us to go where we need to go, to be where we need to be, and to conquer and face what we need to face. So I have a lot more to talk about in this subject, but again, time is missing. We're almost out. So I'll leave you with this thought, that God knows you don't have it. You know you don't have it. But that does not negate and take away where He wants you to go and what He wants you to do. Because He promised to be with you in those times and be the one that pushes you over the top to get what He has for you. I'll see you all tomorrow for part 3. of our series, Do You See What I See? Love you all. See you tomorrow.